Welcome back. This is Shadowcoast with Shadowcoast Gaming, and we are playing Total War Warhammer 2, the Queen and the Crone. We are going to start a new campaign here, Vortex campaign, as Crone Hellebron, the Hag Queen Crone Hellebron. Ganeth, legendary Vortex campaign. So we have legendary here and battle very hard, which is the hardest setting. So, in full transparency, it's been about 3 months, or maybe 2 months, 2.5 months since I've played any Total War, let alone Total War Warhammer. So I am out of practice in full transparency, but we're going to give this a go and see if we can win the campaign, and if not, we're going to go down fighting till the last breath. So Harganath faction effects, they can sacrifice slaves to trigger a Death Knight. And also, full transparency, I'm going to have to learn as I go here because I've only done a little bit of reading on this and I have not watched other videos. So I'm flying blind here. Death Knight spawns an allied Blood Voyage army. From what I read, they basically go around and help us out, if I'm not mistaken. We need to periodically use Death Knights, otherwise we will incur penalties. We'll see that in the game. I did actually load this up just to look at skills and infrastructure, so I have an idea of what I want to do. So we will look at that in a second once we start. Hero capacity +2 for Death Hags. Always great. Casualty capture post-battle +25%. Well, I'm assuming we're going to expend a lot of slaves triggering Death Knights, so we will want to max out all our casualties or increase the casualties captured post-battle. Finally, upkeep -50% for Witch Elves, Sisters of Slaughter, and Harganeth Executioners. And our two strong starting units are Harganeth Executioners, which are those frontline greatsword infantry, fantastic units. As well as the new unit, Sisters of Slaughter Whip Infantry. When I was looking at this very briefly before starting this campaign, with Defender, it looks like they are good at pinning the enemy down in melee, buying time for other units to help hit them. So we are going to want to get kind of, one or two Sisters of Slaughter and one or two Witch Elves. Sisters of Slaughters will pin them down, Witch Elves will come around from behind and just eviscerate enemy units. Alright, so without further ado, we do have it on legendary. Very hard is the hardest. We are going to start our campaign. I am going to skip the introduction. It is the generic Dark Elf introduction from Malekith and/or Morathi. If you're interested in viewing it, please post, and I'm happy to record the introduction if you are dying to see it. But my assumption is that you've seen it a million times by now for other campaigns. So we'll get started. We'll let her talk through the introduction a little bit. We're going to review very brief mechanics and get right into progressing the campaign.
Cain, I stand before you seeking the pleasures of war. Blood will flow, and I shall bathe this ravaged body anew. Something calls to me from across the seas. A weapon of great power that bears the mark of my lord. With it, I will pierce the heart of Ulthuan and seize control of the Vortex. There is beauty in violence, ecstasy in carnage. All that stand before me are mere vermin. They shall feel no mercy as I unleash horror and torment upon them, as with everything in my way. The masters of Naggaroth sit idle in their towers, bar one. Morathi's pets, the treacherous Druki of Grande. For them, pain awaits. For I am the Hag Queen of Harganeth. Let the screams of Death Knight echo across the world.
And there we have it. We do not like Harganeth, or excuse me, we do not like Grande as Harganeth. I'm going to read through this very briefly. How they play Harganeth. Death Knight, a night of pure carnage and murder, where the streets of Harganeth are bathed in blood, rejuvenating its queen and granting her untold powers. Without regular Death Knights, where the slave pits are open to commit murder, Hellebron's strength and power will dramatically weaken over time. So in the top left here, I think this increases each time. We'll find out. But we can sacrifice 800 slaves to trigger Death Knight. And then we have 5 levels. I think it resets the highest level when we trigger it. Blood Queen, there are, in fact, 5 stat impacts. On turn start, Lords have a chance to gain 2 loyalty. Vigor loss reduction of minus 25% for Crone Hellebron. That's great for longer battles. Physical resistance 20% for Crone. The Crone and Witch Elves leadership plus 10 for the army, for all army, Public order plus 6 for all provinces. The next level is Joyous. The next level down is Joyous. Same, impact, just to a lesser degree. Then it goes down a little, lower. Then it turns where we actually have a negative, negative stat debuff here. Primary difference here is we also are losing on our tax rate, so we're collecting less gold. That will become very dangerous for us as this is a legendary campaign. And finally, there's the last level of Crone, very punitive stats. Blood Voyage. Holding a Death Knight inspires the Druki to bear arms and undertake a murderous journey. Aiding this army on its quest for blood will enable you to reap their battle's rewards. So that'll be interesting to fight against a few of our Death Knights and see what happens. I think they focus on High Elves, but we will find out as we play through the campaign. Slaves, the same mechanic as before for regular Dark Elves. We have additional income from slaves, augmented by slave pens and other structures. However, the more slaves we have, the more negative public order we incur. And finally, Sword of Cain. The Sword of Cain is a blade of ancient and terrible power. Its bearer is granted prodigious strength in battle, yet stewardship of the sword can lead to civil unrest. Those in dire need of such power may seek out the weapon as a last resort on the island of the Shrine of Cain, but so too may those with more nefarious aims, which I believe is us. Now, if I'm not mistaken, yeah, I think it's over here. You can kind of see the sword. I think we have to, I guess, capture that settlement and then do something to activate it.
I see them. Morsels writhing around in the dirt, trying to steal what is mine. Taking relics in an attempt to save their precious Vortex. How amusing. Send my thralls to stop them. Let them taste Acer blood. This is but the start of what is to come.
Alright, Felicione is issuing us quests. I did skip over the intro. Felicione is the seer that Malekith, I believe he's imprisoned her soul, so she is helping him with the primary mission here, which is the Vortex and destabilizing it. So that's who she is. She issued us our first mission, capture and occupy a settlement belonging to Grande. We are at war with Grande. I didn't look at this before. Okay, so we are only at war with Grande, which is good. And we cannot negotiate with this faction no matter what. So we are going to fight them and try to eliminate them first and secure this province. I think I want to secure the Chill Road first because there are 3, where the Road of Skulls there are 4, and we'd have to declare war on these Deadwood Sentinels. So before we get into battle, we will take Spite Reach. She kind of, the Crone directed our attention that way. I do want to briefly open this up and talk very briefly through my strategy and build through these early turns. There are 2 new units, or at least I believe there are 2 new units. Sisters of Slaughter, Whip Infantry. They come from Torture Posts. We will have to build public order, or plus public order, so we will have these in every probably region. Next, we are going to upgrade in Halls of Mustering. Bleak Swords will be our center primary infantry until we replace them with a more expensive Where is it? Black Arc Corsairs. Um, Although we will keep one or two bleak swords as they are shielded. There. Next, we are going to build a plateau of dark steeds, and that's because we want to get some Doomfire warlocks. These are magical cavalry. They're very fast. They have poisonous attacks, and you can see here their magical attack, which is great, but poison. Look at that. Minus 20% armor, minus 24% speed, reduction to weapon damage, armor piercing damage, and missile damage. These guys seem pretty awesome, although 263 is fairly expensive upkeep, and I don't know what the recruitment cost is at the moment, but we will find out because we are going to focus on getting these two structures to tier 3, and then we're also going to get an altar of Cain. Then we'll worry about this other stuff. That is the early build, so I have those two buildings underway. Finally, I'm not going to go through all of technology, but I will say this. We are going for casualties captured post-battle first. Those are the first, call it 14 turns. Effectively, we want more slaves, which we can capture after battle. Now, we do start with a death hag, which is nice. So we're going to combine them, and we're actually going to try to take on, or we will take on, Spite and Reach. I am going to fight this battle mainly because the computer cheeses us all the time and takes out our best unit even though they have weak units. And I need the micro practice because it has been a little while since I've played any Total War. So let's see how this goes. If we lose this, then I probably will never play Total War again. We should be able to really steamroll these guys. We have a lord, a legendary lord, a hero, and some awesome units to start with. So I think they'll be in front of us. So we are going to put our lords up front. Sisters of Slaughter over here. And we have on either side some Dread Spears and some Dark Shards. Which we can put up, well, I'd like to put up front. There we go. Yeah, they're gonna start there. We are gonna bring these guys up here, these guys here. These guys here. Sisters of Slaughter come around back. Dark Shards. Kill their Dark Shards. And Hellebron and Hag, or Death Hag, focus on their melee. I'm assuming they're going to move their their range back.
Attack! Without question.
So one thing that Hellebron has, which is fantastic, is Gaze of Cain, plus leadership, plus 25% weapon damage, plus 25 melee attack, although we do rampage. So if you can see what's happening here. Alright, let's see this. They've got him pinned down. How cool is this, guys? They're just like whipping him. That's such a cool animation. This game is so awesome. Alright, so alright, so we're not going to focus on killing anymore since this is a settlement. They're all going to die anyways. Look at that, 77 I think our sisters would have done a little better. They were trying to run down the dark shards. We lost 19 units, so we should replenish that in the next turn. Or at the end of this turn, is my hope.
Their blood sustains.
Decisive victory. We are going to occupy because we are going to head over to Grande, so I don't want to have too many challenges with public order and rebellions. Buy us more time. Our next mission is to maintain control of one province. Alright, well, if all goes well, we will take Grande. So that's 2 turns for that. Skills on Hellebron. So I did load this up and take a look before shooting this video. I'm going to pick Route Marcher. So my build here, just so you guys know, will be Route Marcher into Dreaded Slaver, so we get more slaves, over to Draft Master and Lightning Strike. Eventually, I'm going to want to get Quartermaster and Renowned and Feared for that upkeep reduction cost. I will be getting all the steeds or mounts for Hellebron. They have different different stat changes, but I think all are useful depending on the situation. I will be getting the Greater Ward for missile resistance. I'll also get Witch Brew, giving her 2 rampages, or effectively 2 rampages, and this cools down Witch Brew and increases the number, and I will get hit points. The one thing that I will get immediately when it becomes available is Champion of Cain, as well as Favor of Cain. That gives us 2 more Gazes of Cain and minus 33% cooldown, or a 3rd cooldown, which is fantastic. I'll also get points in all of these other things. Daughters of Despair, Witch Elf, Sisters of Slaughter, and Ganeth Executioners all get bonus versus infantry, as well as melee defense, which is fantastic. The Hag Queen, or the Crone Hellebron herself, I believe gets bonus against infantry and a charge bonus. That'll be nice, especially with some of these mounts. Playthings of the Queen increases post-capture the slaves we can capture post-battle by 35%. This is amazing and very exciting, so definitely want that. Increased loyalty fraction-wide and decreases slave decline in the local province we're operating in. And finally, we will cap it off with Blood Queen, which will improve our Death Knight army, improves the hit points of Hellebron, and also gives her regeneration. Alright, so before we end the turn, we are going to recruit more Dark Shards. We're going to basically get to a 20 stack as quick as possible as we push into Grande, because I think that they have another settlement up there. And we're gonna try to knock them out. On Legendary, I feel like the computer does cheat a bit, quite a bit, from the standpoint that
Elysion is no ally of Marathi, yet I should be wary. There is a connection between her and Ganeth I have not unraveled yet. In the meantime, she requires Hecate's scrolls to power rituals that will dominate the Acer Vortex. A worthy price to see Ulthuan sink.
So she's referencing Scrolls of Hecate, which is what we need to complete the primary Vortex campaign of doing all of these rituals. And then we also have a new mission, capture and occupy. Oh, okay, so this is Alariel's Grove, and we get Cain's Reward. The Death Knight bar cannot fall below a higher minimum level. Well, that's cool. So we can only go down to like bitter. And what is this? Capture and occupy this place. Alright, this one seems a little closer. At least it's in Dark Elf territory. And Marathi's Secret. Oh, okay. Death Knight bar cannot fall below the higher minimum level. So that should bring us into Respected no matter what if we do both of those. Very nice. And search any ruined settlement for treasure. And we will eventually do that, but that's lower on the priority list. We want to secure Grande. So none of these have timestamps, so we will take our time and get it at our leisure.
Behold
Alright.
Bloody-handed priestess. This cold penetrates my bones.
Now, I do want cavalry, so I have to wait till next turn to get it.
Mistress of our Ganeth.
I think I'm going to be greedy here, guys, and push it. Because I want to get as many units as possible. Since Grande is just pumping units out right now. And even though they have 2 settlements, I think that they can support 220 stacks somehow. Don't ask me how. Never figured that one out.
High priestess.
Hey, okay, so where is the border? Right there.
Finding my way.
We are going to do
Mistress of our Ganeth.
1 bleak sword and 2 cavalry units. They do have vanguard deployment, which is nice, so we could just stack a bunch of them and just keep, you know, face rolling into them, but
My strength is limitless.
not quite my playstyle. Alright, so we are going to go with replenishment. That'll be key as we fight in their territory.
Spreading despair.
Alright.
On the move.
Okay. So, hopefully that's a good spot. Let's see what happens here. I don't think they'll come out. They have... Okay, I'm glad I didn't go closer to their base. Because... Alright, so they have 2 cavalry, some dark shards, and a bunch of dread spears. I think that we can take them. Alright, a bigger battle. Like I said, my management or micromanagement skills need improvement. You'll see what I can do.
Hellebron.
So I have a feeling they're gonna come from over there. So these guys will form up our core. Sisters of Slaughter, maybe you guys stand over here. And they do have cavalry units just like us. Our cavalry will kind of sit here. Alright.
Cold-blooded killers. Dark shards.
Huh.
Dark elves. Dark shards.
Alright, so
Dark shards.
yeah, these guys here.
Dealers in death. On to slaughter.
Where? So we know some are coming from there, but where are the other guys? I'm not seeing them. We're gonna be patient, guys. I don't want to end this campaign on turn like 3 or 4. That'd be embarrassing. We have it on highest speed. They need to come to us because they're attacking. Okay, we see them. We did allow them to merge. I didn't want to run in there because I didn't want to get blindsided by the reinforcements and provide them the slightest opportunity to circle around. Alright, so let's put this regular pace. We have Dark Riders over there. Where are the other Dark Riders? Dread Spears. Dread Spears. Dark Shards.
Dark shards! Slaughter them! By Cain! By Cain! Orders understood! Dark Riders!
Alright.
Massacre them!
Nagarothi! Slaughter!
Dread spears! Dark shards! Dark Riders! Advance, Druki! Murder awaits! Destroy!
Alright.
Blood for Cain! End them! Dread spears! No mercy! Kill them!
Seeking blood!
Alright, so
Carnage awaits! On to
let's get him.
dealers in death!
And let's witch brew the core, or
Blood! Blood! Blood!
Advancing! Moving out! Going! Forward!
alright.
Hellfry! Of course!
Kill them! The merciless host, without question! No mercy!
Now where are our Dark Riders? Come on, guys.
Terror and death! Onward! Murder awaits! Forward!
Murder! Flames ready!
End them!
Alright.
Shards!
Named! Yes!
Merciless warriors! Dark
Let's try to keep cycling our...
to slaughter! Onward! Moving out!
Yes! What deeds await? As you say!
Let's... Come on. Get
Your
Calic.
command! Druki! Forward! Onwards to murder!
Of course!
Alright.
Slay them! Understood! Pull back!
Blood!
Without question! Advance!
Alright, we are trying to get our... Well, I guess one of them's broken.
Forward! Advancing to destruction! Bleak swords! Eager for battle! Taruki! We are ready! Cold-blooded killers! On to slaughter! Dark shards!
Alright.
Onwards to murder!
Where is Hellebron?
Destruction!
So we don't actually want to kill...
Kill everything! Bloody murder!
We don't want to kill their hero.
Dark Riders! Murder awaits! Destroy! Advancing!
You just want to severely injure their lord.
Murder awaits!
Like,
Bleak
very
swords.
severely injure them.
We understand. Back! Attack! Merciless warriors! Death is coming! Eager for battle!
Hellebron!
Moving out!
Alright, I think
Very well! Sacrifice them!
Sisters of Slaughter, go there.
Bleak swords! Battle calls!
Oh geez, do we kill her?
Yes! Death!
No, we did not want to kill her.
With
Crap.
going! Ever ready!
Guess she's a caster.
Them!
On to slaughter! We understand. As you say. To destruction! We are ready! It is done! Bleak swords! Merciless warriors! To destruction! On to slaughter! Eager for battle!
If you wish, for Cain! Outside!
Yeah, pin him down.
Very well!
Druki, forward! Slaughter them!
Yes, slaughter them. Alright, pin them down, sisters.
Cain, forgive me!
Hellebron, Grande!
Made it out. How did our sisters do? Let's take out this unit. We're trying to take out units so we don't have to fight them later. Alright, so the question is, can we... that was a mistake. I didn't want to kill Caladriel because they're just going to recruit a new fully... we're taking slaves, definitely taking slaves. They're just going to recruit like new heroes now for both armies. And that doesn't do us a lot of good. So we're going to get aggressive here. And we're going to...
What is this foolish?
So we have 2 new heroes.
Mistress
Although we
of
are
Arganet.
pretty... So what do they have? Bleak swords, dread spears, and dark shards with shields.
Mistress of Arganet.
Traded slaver. We're gonna try to end them. We are gonna try to end them. This might go poorly, guys, but
Cain is watching.
we will continue the siege.
Carnage awaits.
And let's see. Nothing to build. We're good on research. So, how did... I find that very questionable how they... Eleanor got a bunch of units. Well, doesn't matter. We will fight this battle. I guess if she was standing outside, she could finish her recruitment. Should have tried to attack her instead. Lesson learned. Let's see how this goes. I do feel like the computer, the AI, pulls some janky stuff every now and then, but it is what it is. I think it's harder for them to make like intelligent AI battles. Much more difficult. They do have you do need to still be worried about 1 cavalry unit they have. We just don't want them to get behind us. Alright. Are they gonna wait? Oh, they're gonna wait. They're gonna... So we will wait for them too. This might be a very short campaign, guys. I did not think they'd be able to recruit more units that turn. I would have attacked the one standing out there. Alright, so what are they bringing at us? Dark Riders. so what are these? Dread spears, dread spears.
Forward!
Sending those guys.
Death is coming! Dread spears! Dark riders!
Oh, I thought you were
Swords of pain.
in 6.
On to murder.
Advancing! Dark shards!
At Senlu.
Dark riders! Merciless warriors! No mercy! Dealers in death! Onwards to murder! Moving out! Advance, Druki! Dread spears! On to slaughter! On to slaughter!
Alright.
Forward! Dark riders! Advance, Druki!
Alright, so
Execution!
these guys,
A reckoning! Dark shards! Druki, forward! Massacre them! Battle calls! Nagarothi! Dread spears! It is done! Carnage awaits! Terror and death! Advancing!
alright.
Cain, hear me!
Druki!
Forward. Quickly now.
By Drakira!
Such. Cain.
Druki, forward! Murder awaits!
Death hag.
Dread spears! Merciless warriors!
Alright, so
Bringers of death.
Blood will flow! Die, weaklings! Forward!
I am ready. Darkness comes.
Yes, death!
To destruction! Bleak swords! Dread spears! Kill them!
now
Delves!
Ah. Forward. Left.
where are my
Going! Withdraw! The merciless host! Cold-blooded killers! Massacre them! Dread spears! Slay them!
Skilled murderesses.
End them!
alright, so where's our core?
Die, weakling!
We need our core to come here.
Cain's wrath! Rule! Queen Hellebron!
Withdraw by Cain! Taruki! Onward! Die, weaklings! Blood will flow!
So
Massacre them!
we're just trying to keep
Hellebron! Slaughter them!
Hack! Cut!
On to violence.
Sisters of Slaughter.
With pleasure! Without question!
Alright, so we want to be careful here
By Drakira!
because we
Death is coming!
Hellebron! Death hag!
I tire of this!
Hellebron! Cain wills it!
Carnage awaits! Following orders!
Mother of despair!
Without question! To destruction!
alright, so
Hag. Mystery upon mystery.
let's
No death.
finish them off. Or almost finish them off.
Rip. Forward. Cain's chosen. Sowing turmoil.
So
Moving out! Death is coming! Red spears!
Death high.
Battle ready! Forward!
alright, just trying to keep track of everybody.
Nagarothi! On to slaughter! Druki! Forward! Advance Druki!
Cut! Hack! Slash!
Onward to murder! Executioners! To destruction!
By all means.
Onward! Battle ready! Moving out! Forward! Advancing! Red spears!
Slaughter them!
Die, weaklings! By Cain! Advancing! As you say, it is done! Murder awaits! Understood! Druki! Pull back!
Alright, so
Cain's priestess! I offer blood! Yes!
Blood for Cain!
Death hag. On to murder. Rip.
alright, they have a few units left.
Attack!
Through. Death awaits.
Murderous! Cut! Hack! Slash!
Alright, so
Hellebron!
As you say! Druki, forward!
High priestess!
Forward. Fell deed. Death hag.
oh man. Oh boy. Okay, that was an intense battle, guys. I think we should be able to take it now. We should take Grande. That's my expectation. Crone put in some work at 100. Sisters of Slaughter at 119. We will.
Cain flows through me.
So. Capture and occupy Grande. We can do that. Or I think we can do that. Alright, so we have our Death Hag. We're gonna put Dance of Death. And let's see.
End them!
The Druki do not beg!
Slash! Stab! Fight!
Oh boy. Let's see. I would rather not lose my executioners, but I also need to push and take Grande before they can rebuild.
Queen Hellebron!
Executioners!
Huh.
Cold-blooded killers! Dark Shards! Dark Riders!
Blood Queen! Move!
Die, weaklings! wolves! Onwards to murder!
Alright, so they're taking significant damage.
We are ready!
Slay them
Dealers
to
in
the
death.
spine!
Hack! Cut!
Death hag! Sinner!
We are ready!
Hellebron! Death comes! By all means.
Alright,
Eager for battle! Dark shards! For the king!
we are trying to
To destruction!
climb up and attack them,
Cold-blooded
which would be
killers.
very nice. So let's see if this works or not.
Cut! Following orders. Incoming enemy fire!
Alright,
Hellebron! Mother of despair! High priestess!
They attack from
Mothers of
afar.
murder! Hag queen! Blood queen! Spreading despair!
alright, let's go try to take the base.
Queen!
But
Hellebron!
before we do, we'll
Pain! Hear me! End them! Hellebron!
oops, nope, no, Hellebron, go.
Bleed them! Rise of Cain!
Executioners! Cold-blooded killers!
Blood! Hellebron!
Killed! One
Mother
for
of
slaughter!
despair! Forward!
Go, 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 go.
Hellebron! Moving out! Chef! At Senlu! Death awaits! Quickly now!
Fell and foul!
Die!
Of course!
Yeah, lords are so, like, compared to a unit, they're very overpowered.
Sign a shot! Spreading despair!
Dark shards! Battle calls!
Of course!
Oof.
Blood drenched!
Alright. We captured Grande, guys. So that will, we'll call that an episode. We took some heavy losses.
We honor you, Cain!
The Druki don't play
So
nice.
we have occupied Grande.
Grande has fallen in a battle of delightful savagery, Blood Queen. Construct.
Yep, we will construct stuff as need be. Now, the question here is, do we... I think the answer is yes. We are going to upgrade to level 2, and we're going to put a level 1 growth thing here just to try to charge up our growth rate there.
Mistress of our Ganeth.
And can't really recruit anything right now. But what we're going to do is we're going to go down, get the Great Arena, go back. Do we know what they have here? Just basic units. So we're going to go down, take the Great Arena, build troops, finish off Grande. That will be our strategy. Thank you all for watching. If you enjoyed what you saw, please subscribe and throw me a thumbs up. We'll catch you in the next video. Thanks for watching.